What sets us apart is performance, and I don't think anybody's bats perform better than we do, that's for sure. The blade starts from a tree. Although we buy trees, it's about 20 to 25% of our throughput is from trees that we buy in the locality. The rest of it, 75% roughly, is bought from a merchant down in Essex who supplies probably 80% of the world's English willow.
This bit here is the original set that was planted, then the wood grows. You see the inside is a pinky red colour and the outside is white. The pinky stuff tends to be a little bit more brittle than the white, particularly in a big old tree that gets quite dark brown and has become very brittle, so that's actually downgraded to a lower bat.
From this cleft form, it's then sawn into a blade that shape. So you can see where it comes from. It tends to come from the outside of the tree. This bit is cut off and it's formed into a cleft like that, which is we then store for about 3 to 4 months outside to start the initial weathering process to get the moisture out of the wood. Okay, so if you won't be able to see this, but you just feel that. The weight of that.
Yeah.
That's fresh sawn.
Yeah.
Now pick that one up.
A lot lighter.
A lot lighter,
Yeah.
yeah. So we find that if we dry it out too quickly, then the moisture gets locked in the middle and it becomes heavy. So it's good to get the moisture out in a slow process initially. This is the kiln.
Yeah.
Inside there are 3,000 clefts. You'll see that they're all positioned in the same direction, so that when the hot air circulates in that motion, it covers the whole blade. Every blade gets the same amount of moisture coming out of it. So we're taking the moisture down from roughly 35% down to 14, 13%, that sort of area, which takes 21 days.
This is where we get a very good idea of what the bat's going to finish up like at the end. It's basically the grain structure. You see one there, look, that's going to be a limited edition, so I'll go into one of our better bats. You see the grain structure there, look, there's quite a lot of grains. They're quite even, it's very clean, and it's pretty light as well. They'll go into the climate room, which is basically a storeroom, but it keeps the moisture content consistent.
It's called the climate room for the obvious reasons that we're trying to control the climate, because what we need to do is make sure we spend all that time making sure that the moisture content is right out of the kiln, that when it's stored it doesn't pick up moisture. It goes in the mill to be finely sized and cut to length. We pick which end the handle needs to go in, because that's vital, because you don't want the best piece of wood at the handle end, you want it down where the ball's being hit. Then goes into the factory to be pressed, and we use 2 presses. The new one, 1947, which is a hydraulic press, and a mechanical press which was built in somewhere in the 1800s. I think Gunn, I think William Gunn bought it from somebody who'd always made bats before he had, so it's a very old press. But we find that the balance of the 2 press gives optimum performance. After it's pressed, it's then the handle is fitted by splicing a V into the top of the blade and into the bottom of the handle, and then it's fitted, because you can't fit them identically because of the way willow takes up and moves after the V's cut out. Some wood will move slightly differently to another, so we have to hand fit every one, which is a very skilled job and very vital to the longevity of the bat, because if the splice is wrong, then the bat will fail. Okay. From there it goes onto the CNC machine for the shaping of the back, and that's all done on CAD/CAM system, which means that every shape is consistent with each other, the same model. Then from there it goes to Kevin, the finisher, and a new lad, James, who's only been with us 4 years, but he finishes them off, checks the weight and the pickup, and if he thinks a bit of weight needs taking out of the bat, he'll do that. And he does the shoulders. Funny enough, we could do the shoulders on the CNC machine, but Kevin's quicker. We knock it in, then we sand and polish it, then we put an anti-scuff on, then sticker, and put the rubber grip on, and then finally Adrian, who does the grading at the beginning, comes and does the grading at the end to double check everything's right, and the back goes out to our wonderful customers.